And for this installment, we're always going to talk about Panzironi and explain us, but the topic is we're going to flip the board, the circadian cycle. Basically, we're going to talk about the synchronization of our metabolism to the cycles of day and night. What does that tell us, Mr. Panzironi?
Certainly, it is a very important topic also because the alteration of circadian cycles can really create big problems for our health. And then it is one of those cases, paradox, where on the one hand, medicine, the one of scientists, develops, finds, and publishes tens of thousands of scientific researches, while so-called protocol medicine, the official one, absolutely does not take any into consideration.
So let's go right away and find out what is the circadian cycle, and we do it with this video.
The circadian cycle is 24 hours long and was coined by Franz Alberg from the Latin circadium, meaning precisely around the day. Circadian cycles are regulated by a complex internal clock, present in every living organism, and is synchronized with the natural cycle of day and night by natural stimuli such as sunlight and environmental temperature, or the presence of the cortisol hormone. The circadian clock is located in the suprachiasmatic nucleus SCN, a defined group of cells located in the hypothalamus. The SCN receives information about illumination through the eyes, and in particular from the ganglion cells, retinal, photosensitive cells, connected with the cells of the suprachiasmatic nucleus. The SCN transmits signals to the pineal gland, stimulating the secretion of melatonin. Melatonin release synchronizes the circadian clocks present in every cell of our body. Cortisol is able to disrupt the activity of the suprachiasmatic nucleus, effectively preventing melatonin production and altering the main circadian clock and its synchronization with the peripheral ones.
So, Mr. Panzironi, the video told us that basically the circadian cycle and circadian rhythms are present in every living being. Yes.
Every living thing has them for the simple reason that it must alternate between moments of quiescence and times of activity. And this it does precisely by synchronizing light and night. And based on that, there's just also a different hormonal production of metabolic activities, totally different.
Heard the video also told us practically about the central clock present in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, but also about circadian clocks found in every cell.
Yes, these are very recent researches that tell us precisely that there is not only a central clock, but that this then regulates the production of melatonin, and this very hormone goes to synchronize this central clock into clocks that are present in virtually every cell's DNA of our metabolism.
So we can infer that disruption of circadian rhythms can really be a big problem for our health.
Well, certainly.
So that's precisely why we're going to look at this video that talks to us about the alteration of the circadian cycle. Let's see it together.
Alteration of the circadian clock is capable of altering countless enzymatic activities, hormonal, biological processes, and interact with the proper functioning of the immune system. The most important alteration concerns the production of melatonin, the deficiency of which cascades into the loss of cortisol circadianity. In addition, altered synchronization of peripheral clocks prevents cell autophagy. Tissue regeneration has a negative impact on learning and memory, in muscle and bone physiology, in renal rhythms, in the regulation of inflammation, in mitochondrial respiration, in mTOR signaling, in the production of glucagon and GF1, in adipose function, in antioxidant defense. Practically, disruption of peripheral circadian clocks is a cofactor of all kinds of pathology, from diabetes to cardiovascular diseases, autoimmune diseases, to cancer, to osteoarthritis.
Panzironi, I am kind of speechless because basically the video showed us a really very dramatic picture, because we realized that with this malfunction of circadian clocks, we go and alter virtually all of our biological functions.
Well, certainly consider that cells implement and enact thousands of enzymatic and hormonal activities. And well, if we go and alter their circadian cycle, we also go to phase out all these relationships between hormones and enzymes. I give an example. At night, we are able to repair our DNA. We activate our immune system that has to defend us from pathogen attacks. We activate what is the reconstruction of the matrix. Well, all this work that every living being has to do in order to return to health and maintain itself, therefore also in its longevity, owes it precisely to this nocturnal phase, which if it is altered precisely goes to alter our health and therefore our longevity.
In fact, Panzironi, you have practically devoted an entire chapter of your new book, Living to 120 Le Recherche, precisely to circadian cycles and their alteration and how the alteration of these cycles goes to affect the risk of diseases such as cancer even, or cardiovascular problems, autoimmune diseases, degenerative diseases. Basically everything, all possible pathologies.
Well, of course, that's why I really decided to devote a chapter to circadian cycles, because there are tens of thousands of scientific circles that precisely confirm that their alteration is a cofactor. Important for all the modern pathologies that we know of. An absolutely extraordinary and important topic. However, I must tell you that official medicine, the medicine of dogma, absolutely does not take it into consideration. All the more so if you want to give it a try, go to your family doctor and ask him to talk to you about circadian clocks. We'll answer you that he is not an expert neurologist.
So, Mr. Panzironi, I am going to ask you what is the main cause of this alteration of circadian cycles?
Well, we have explained it very often. We know that cortisol is that hormone that goes to alter and disrupts then the suprachiasmatic nucleus, going to disrupt also the production of melatonin, which has to then synchronize all. How many peripheral clocks? Well, unfortunately, we know that the Mediterranean diet based on bread, pasta, pizza, potatoes, rice and legumes really goes to alter cortisol pollution, and does so because it induces glycemic dips. It does so because it induces inflammation that activates the production of cortisol. And this cortisol actually goes to alter these circadian clocks, creating precisely their desynchronization.
So thank you to our Adriano Panzironi for this information that is so crucial to our health.